My name is Joe. These are just opinions. I am JOEpinionated. Today on 10 Best, we are talking about the 10 best songs from Ween's album, White Pepper. Ween's 7th album, recorded in upstate New York, Woodstock, New York. White Pepper. It's a tribute-ish to the Beatles. White Album and Sgt. Pepper's. Most easy listening album. There's not too much crazy, different, weird, wacky Ween involved. It's pretty straightforward as far as their albums go. So I always like to mention too with Ween that I prefer Ween stuff live in general. I like the live versions of most songs. Some of the stuff they do pitch control, they speed it up, they slow it down on the albums, and in person it's just more palatable. It's just straightforward rock group. They don't do any like Weird Al style stuff. They're not making fun of people ever. They love different genres and every song's different from the last. Gene and Dean Ween, friends Aaron and Mickey, met in New Hope, Pennsylvania in their typing class. It's on every single thing you ever read about Ween. They brought in Dave Drywitz, Claude Coleman, and Glenn McClellan to round out the touring band in the later 90s. Some of those guys appear in the studio. Their first album's a studio album, but the Pod and Pure Guava are more of a lo-fi sound. Some people don't like that. They think that everything is drum machine. That's not the case. It's almost always actually Dean Ween drumming on the first few albums. This is a follow-up album to the Mollusk, which was a huge album for Ween. White Pepper, I just love that cover. The pepper that looks like, to me, like a Kabenzi magic mushroom. A lot of their songs do talk, a lot of drug culture talk throughout the songs. The guys are just down to earth. They're not pretentious. They're the nicest celebrities on the planet. Ween has a huge following. They're friggin' awesome. They're so good to their fans. Number 10, I'm going back to Basin. Now, this is just a really pretty slow Beatles-esque track. Cool layers, different build. Reaching out as I touch your face. Please believe I'm only traveling. Like seeking wonder from a foreign place, and the snow so light is bleeding. We sleep so tight when we're breathing. Calm a little pint of soul creeping. Calm the light, let me fly back to Basin. Number 9 from best song from White Pepper. I'll probably almost say the White Album every time. White Pepper, we're going with Pandy Fackler. Oh, Pandy. As much as Ween is not a jam band, they would like you to know that. They are all great musicians. And usually on this one, we get to see a little bit of the jazzier side from Glenn and Claude and Dave, where they jam out in the song quite a bit. Gene takes a break, goes to the washroom, something like that. Pandy Fackler was a working girl, living alone in another world. Picket fences and white facades. Suck it under the promenade. Oh, Pandy. Number 8, the 8th best song from White Pepper. We're going with She's Your Baby. Janie came back from the stand, smiling, with the writings of Kafka in hand. Beatles influences, you can hear them as the song kind of changes, stuff like that. You got a bit of magical mystery tour going on this song. Cool, pretty beautiful song. The vocals on White Pepper are smooth as silk. Number 7 is Bananas and Blow. 7th best song on White Pepper from Ween. I prefer the studio version, the album version of Bananas and Blow. It sounds amazing, actually. I'm not crazy about this one live. It's basically about these guys that are out in a cabana, and this one guy had to leave all of a sudden, but don't worry, I left a little something to help the time go by. Just a little something to help to keep you high. Bananas and Blow. Number 6, we're going with Even If You Don't. I love you even if you don't. Please don't touch my phone book. My friends are getting pissed off. You wake them in the morning acting like a jerk off. I love you even if you don't. A cool opening piano. This one on Live in Chicago is probably my favorite version, but the studio version is incredible as well. Many people's favorite Ween song is Even If You Don't. Straightforward pop Beatles track. Great video. Check out the video. But a drama queen that wants to get everybody else involved in these people's relationship, and he's just like, just stop it. you're pissing everybody off. Next, number 5, fifth best song from White Pepper from Ween, Nicest Guys on the Planet. We're going with Exactly Where I'm At. Ween performed on Dave Letterman, I believe, only once when they were touring White Pepper. Let's begin with the past in front. I love that opening song opening line on an album is "Let's begin with the past in front and all the things that you really don't care about now. You'd be exactly where I'm at." At the time, Gene Ween was in a relationship. His next album, they've broken up, and it's sort of like a breakup album in a sense. A lot of pain in that album, and this one has a lot of like struggles within a relationship in the lyrics if you peel it back. So Exactly Where I'm At is a really cool song, sonically amazing. Number 4 off of White Pepper from Ween, year 2000, I think. Yeah, year 2000 is when this one came out. I'm going with Falling Out. Falling Out, it's the end, and I lose another friend. I recall a time that we were lovers. Before you, I hadn't any other. When the bad times came along, I turned and you had gone. From the start, I loved you. I was wrong. Always thought of you as my big brother. Never knew we couldn't trust each other. 2 faces I could see as you shook my money tree. There's no more, you and me. Let it be. Falling Out, it's the end, and I lose another friend. Falling Out comes in at number 4. It's almost got like sort of like, what's that guy's name? Vic Slick or whatever. The guy who did like the James Bond theme. The guitars kind of sound a little bit like the James Bond theme. Number 3 is one of Ween's best love songs. It's called Stay Forever. In the morning, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you so many things about how much I really love you, about how much you really mean. And I want to know, do you feel the same way? Because if you do, I want to stay forever. Infectious. I love the bass in the song, actually. A lot of Ween fans, this is their wedding song, Stay Forever. Number 2, best songs from White Pepper, Ween. Going with Flutes the Chi. Love the guitar, the hook on this one, of course. Everything that you are, that you'd like to be, will come in 3, my friend. Times thine inequity, the flutes of the Chi will sound again, my friend. I was living in Taiwan years ago, like 20 years ago. We went out to a beach for the night. We stayed in this kind of cabin on the beach thing with some people that I'd never met before. And this one girl, I don't even know what her name is, went by DRC, Detroit Rock City. That's what everybody called her, DRC. And my friend Fauna will know who that is, what her real name is and stuff. But anyways, I'm pretty sure it was her. I woke up in the morning all hungover. We were drinking like this like rice vodka, rice liquor, Tunnel 88, something like that. Something that was like moonshine. And I was not feeling good. This girl, DRC, she put this White Pepper on in this shared accommodations that we were at. And I remember listening to the whole thing from my bed and I was pretty hungover, and I liked Ween at the time. Man, this is so good. This album is really good. Like, what is this? What is she playing? Like, this is awesome music. Flutes of the Chi was one where I remember just being like, okay, who is this? And they're like, oh, it's Ween. I'm like, oh, I love Ween. Okay, I just didn't have this album at the time. Flutes of the Chi. 2 that didn't make the top 10 for me on this album are Ice Castles. Live, it's actually a pretty cool song. It's pretty funny to watch. It's completely unbearable to me on the album. Reminds me of like the background music from The Friendly Giant. You remember that show where the guy like would move the pieces around at the start, or like the soundtrack to an old Shakespeare movie. Number 11, I put Stoker Ace, which is kind of like one of their Motorhead songs. A bit punk. They're definitely punk influence. My number 1 song from White Pepper here on the 10 Best, The Grobe. Straight up rock song. And I think it's about actually microwaving spaghetti is the inspiration for the song, but I could be wrong. Point the pointy pencil in the pepper po and take a little sniff from the things below. Bring it to a boil, simmer low. Put the noodle on the griddle as it climbs the grobe. Best song from Ween's White Pepper, White Album, and Sgt. Pepper's, a tribute to the Beatles-ish. This one, like I said, is probably the easiest listen of all of Ween albums. White Pepper is the most straightforward of their albums. And I think the more that you like Ween, or the longer you listen to them, you start to kind of fall in love with the stuff that's a little bit harder, a little bit more abrasive in the beginning. If you're going to start somewhere, I'd probably recommend starting with this album, White Pepper. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your top 5 or 10 are from this album. More episodes to come. I'm going through all the albums right now, and I'm going to do a top 50 songs episode in the future, check out the link below. Many other episodes on this channel too. I'm sorry I'm a little low on facts and high on opinions. Respect to Ween. And we'll see you on the next one.